famous. We're on YouTube.
Again.
Okay, we are all set to go.
Great, thanks, John.
So just say my name if you need anything and I'll be listening.
You might be hearing that a lot. Okay.
That's fine. I'll be here.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Lisa Hodge. I'm the chair of the Northborough Community Affairs Committee, and I'm going to read the following statements. This open meeting of the Community Affairs Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, the town of Northborough has been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. All members of the Northborough Community Affairs Committee are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows the Northborough Community Affairs Committee to meet entirely remotely so long. Could everyone please mute? So long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to the Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. Okay, we're going to take roll call. So remember, if you're muted, just to unmute when I call you. Okay, and okay, members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go down the list. Beth Payne.
Here. Affirmative. What am I supposed to say?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Jessica Hay.
Here.
Lisa Smith.
Here.
Liz Bedard.
Yes.
Pam Markey.
Here.
Rebecca Meopolis.
Yes, hi, here.
Susie Sislica.
Here.
And Trisha Olival.
Here.
How many names did I butcher? Sorry. Okay. That is that. Okay, and then I got ground rules to cover, and then we can get on with the meeting. Okay, so I will invite each speaker on the agenda by name to make a presentation and speak to their application. Participants will provide their full name and hold until their name is called. Each speaker will be asked to mute their phone or computer when not speaking and to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate meeting minutes. Those responding will be asked to wait until the floor is yielded to them by the chair. Speakers who wish to respond to the comments of others do so through the chair taking care to identify themselves. Each vote taken by the board or committee will be conducted by a roll call vote. So just to keep it a little cleaner, what we'll do is, so if I can obviously see everybody, so if you want to comment, just raise your hand and I'll call on you, and that way we won't be cutting each other off, because Zoom will do that. Okay, so I'm going to grab the agenda. Thank you all for coming via Zoom. Hope everybody is safe and doing well. The first thing we're going to do, there's a typo. Approval of minutes for not February 2020, but for September 2020. So Pam, do you have the minutes?
I do have the minutes. Would you like me to go over the minutes, or I sent them out? Okay. You want me to review all of them?
Read through them so the public will, if they, watching, they'll be able to hear them.
Okay, great. So last month we met on, I'm Pamela Markey, by the way, secretary. We met on September 9th, Wednesday, September 9th. We had the attendees, Lisa Hodge, Susie Siselka, Rebecca Mahopoulos, Jessica Hay, Pamela Markey, Lisa Smith, Liz Bedard, and Beth Payne. We also had the fire chief as well. It was called to order at 7 p.m. We also had that virtually due to the COVID-19. We started with the open remarks. Lisa made the opening statement. We did roll call, and we motioned to approve the minutes by all attendees. Then we moved on to the financial report, which we had the ending balance as of September 8th, 2020 was $7,570.20. Let's see, we went over, we need to send in remaining expenses from the town cleanup, which was in June. We motioned to approve the financial report, which was approved by all attendees. The next topic we covered was the town cleanup, and we discussed the feedback, which was all positive reviews. We did the virtual pickup. Everybody liked the yellow DPW bags. Use them for next year. And then the final topic that we went over was the new events that we were going to discuss, which was a possible pumpkin display that we wanted to put on the town common Halloween weekend. And we have the DPW assisting with the displays on Route 20. We were going to set up a sign up genius for registration. We talked about setting a limit for entries. We'll be doing drop-offs Thursday and Friday, and putting into consideration that we want to minimize groups gathering, so we're staggering the drop-off. And we also talked about making suggestions on the sign-up page for donations to the Northborough Food Pantry or Toys for Tots, which is something that we usually do for the tree lighting, but I don't think that will be happening this year. We also discussed voting for the favorite pumpkins online, and we'll have gift cards or prizes for the top 3 winners. Let's see, from local businesses, which we're having donated. And let's see, 1 pumpkin per family. We have tea lights to set up the display. And we also discussed getting a new sign to display on the town common, which we did. Looks awesome. And then we briefly mentioned the idea of a new winter activity in place for the tree lighting, possibly house decorating throughout town. But that was it. And the meeting was adjourned at approximately 8 p.m. And then we closed the meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes? Okay, you know, I can't see. Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes
Okay, that's Susan.
as read by Pam.
I'll second that. This is Rebecca Mahopoulos. I'll second that.
And it was Susie. I made the motion.
Thank you. All in favor? Raise your hand. Okay. Meeting approved. Meeting minutes approved. Thank you. Okay, next up is Jessica with the financial report.
Jessica Hay, treasurer. So we had $500 in our general fund that was put in there in July. So that had been placed in there. However, we spent $528 this month on the new sign in the town common for the jack-o'-lantern stroll. So $528 have been taken out to go to D signs. So 500 of that came from the general fund and $28 came from our special fund. So our new ending balance now is $0 in the general fund and $7,642 in the specials fund.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions? If so, just raise your hand. Okay, great. I'm glad to hear that we were able to use the $500 because we know that can get tricky to make sure that gets used. So that's perfect.
Well, I'll just say I'm hopeful. I dropped it in the town mailbox, and I know that Peter got it, so I wrote a note in the bill pay. So I'll see when I hear from him next. But he said all was set, so hopefully it all went through right.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
Shout out to Trisha for getting the sign. That was awesome, and it looks great. So thank you. Where's Trisha? There you are. Okay. Okay, great. So I think we need to do an approval of the minutes. So the financial report. Do I have a motion to approve the financial reports, please?
I'll motion. Beth Payne.
Thank you, Beth. Do I have a second?
Rebecca Mahopoulos, I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor? Great. Financial report is approved. Thank you. Thanks, Jessica. Okay, so next up is members, which we don't need any, which is awesome. I just always leave that on here, but we've been pretty steady for a while, which is great. So the main topic we need to discuss tonight is the Jack-o'-lantern stroll. So as we've been mentioning, the sign is set up in the center of town, and it looks great. The Sign Up Genius was completed, and we all know that the slots filled up in hours, not days, but hours. So people were very excited for this event. We right now, and this is what we'll need to discuss as a committee, but right now we are doing 50 pumpkins or jack-o'-lanterns. And that gets tied into the space that we have set up by DPW. So if you've driven by the center of town, you've probably seen the start of temporary, not really called tables, but platforms that are going across the front rails there. So they started off with, I can't remember how many feet, but they're going to be adding more, and we're going to have a total of 84 feet. They're going to be finishing that up next week. I'm not sure I'm pretty sure they're not doing the fence area near the War Memorial. So if you're facing the park, I think that's not going to be done. And I'm assuming most, if not all, the rest are going to be done, but I'm not sure. I don't know what 84 feet is going to be. So we'll see next week. So originally we said 50 because I think we figured, I don't even remember how many, but was it 6? Does anyone remember how many feet we had originally?
Yeah, it was 64 feet. It was 8 feet long tables, and 8 of them. So there was 8 feet by 8. So it was 64.
Okay, thank you. Yes, 8
Yep.
by 8. That's right. Okay, so now we're going to be up to 84. So if we were at 64, we were figuring a little over a foot for each pumpkin, and we just really weren't sure. And what if someone brings a bigger pumpkin? How are we going to handle that? So now the question is, we do have 84 feet. Do we add more signups and allow a handful more pumpkins, like another 10, another 20, or do we just stick with 50 because it's the first time that we're doing this and we're not really sure? I was thinking that Jessica, because she's in charge of the Sign Up Genius, that you could send out an email to everyone. Actually, probably after this meeting, and just thank everyone for participating. Confirm, make sure that they still want to participate, and if not, they should let us know so we can, remove the spot and let someone else take it. And then maybe make a suggestion. If you all agree, I'd like to get your feedback, but just kind of a range on the pumpkin size. I was at Rocky's Ace Hardware the other day, and out front they had a display and it said jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. They were pretty decent size, and then they had all the other pumpkins that were smaller. So I don't know if we want to give just like a guideline to people that they're not bringing some, big pumpkin that we're not going to be able to, put on the fence. So does anyone, if you want to say something, just raise your hand and I'll call on you. Okay. So Lisa Smith first.
Yeah, I think we should at least put a max on it. I mean, instead of saying, and I guess that's maybe the same thing as what you're saying, but because no bigger than what I think, 24 inches would be ridiculous already, but yeah, I think we should at least put a max on there. I think that's a fair thing to do just because of space restraints.
Okay, thanks. Pam?
Yeah, or like keep it around 1 foot. Isn't that like one of the pumpkins that you measured, Lisa, was a foot?
Yeah, they're like 9 inches for like these like
Yeah.
kind of like smaller scale ones.
Yeah. I mean, because are we going to deny them if they're like an inch? You know
No,
what I mean? But maybe like keep it around a foot. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe should I can go tomorrow and literally buy like a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin from Rockies and stick it on the fence and measure it so we can have an idea of what it is. I mean, I don't mind doing that, and then we'll have an idea of sizing.
Because this,
Yeah.
I mean, this is how wide it is. It's got to be even poundage if they're taller. It's got to be a certain width to be able to balance on those 2 boards too.
Yeah. That's fair. Oh, that's a good point. Like,
Yeah.
Because, you know, some are like taller, but some are really round and they might not sit well on those.
yeah.
Yeah.
Rebecca, did you want to say something? I think I saw your hand.
Yeah, I say due to like, I do agree with both what Lisa, everything that's been said about putting some kind of parameters around size, but since there is the size issue and we're not sure if everyone will abide by it, I do think because of that, we should keep it at 50. I would hate to run out of space. I think people would be more upset if we were to run out of space and they carved a pumpkin than they will be, like, we really haven't gotten negative feedback that it closed so quickly. Also, they started a pumpkin decorating contest at the library for kids this week. So I feel like there's something else going on in the pumpkin decorating world in Northborough. So yeah, for those reasons, I'm leaning towards keeping it, even though I was like the first to say, yes, add 25. Thinking through these reasons, I think we should kind of stick with what we have.
All right, thanks. Beth?
So I agree with Rebecca. I think if we don't have enough space, I feel like that might be a little bit tougher. And if it looks empty because people bring smaller pumpkins, maybe they won't be in the competition, but like we can just put other ones up that our families decorate, or just maybe put something out there to the community last minute saying, if anyone, I don't know if we can even do that, but maybe we just throw our pumpkins on and they're just not part of the competition. I don't know if anyone agrees with that, or we just kind of space them out more.
Okay, I'm seeing a bunch of thumbs up. Does everyone, so I guess what's on the table is we're gonna stick with the 50, so we won't increase it at least this year, and we'll see. Liz put a great. Oh, look at these thumbs up! Awesome. Okay, I haven't seen that before. So we'll stick with the 50. Jessica, if you just send out an email, then when you get a chance. Just making sure everyone still wants to participate. You could even include a picture of the platform, that Susie just showed, and say, hey, this is just so you know, this is what it looks like at the town common where your jack-o'-lantern's going to sit. So keep in mind, it can't be too big or it's going to topple over. So I think that's going to help us keep the size at a good. Because I wasn't even thinking of if it's going this, it could topple. It could fall right over. So we have to keep that in mind too. Okay, good. And then Beth, I think, who was doing the tea lights? Was it Lisa or Beth? Oh, Lisa. Okay. Can you speak about the tea lights?
Yes. I ended up buying 2 36 packs off Amazon.
Okay.
So we have 72 tea lights, but that was kind of banking on the fact that maybe a quarter of them are crap. Like, reviews are all over the place. So yeah, so they're fine. I tested one and it stayed lit for like 3 days nonstop. So we're fine with them. They're just standard little tea lights. And if we find that, like, you can't really tell but it's just standard tea light. And then, yeah, I mean, if we have extras and some of them look a little dim when we drive by the first night, we can always double up a couple of them. But based on our intense research that we did of 1 tea light versus 2 tea lights outside. Pam was part of my research committee. 1 seemed to be fine. So
great.
But yeah, we have plenty to spare. I take my research very seriously.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. I mean, you know, we could obviously go down. So they're going up Friday night. Someone could go down. A couple of people could go down Saturday and turn off the tea lights. I mean, you know, if we want to save, we could do that too.
Mhm.
We'll just play that by ear though. But at least we know that they'll last.
Yeah.
So the plan is people are going to drop off the pumpkins Thursday and Friday, and then we'll be setting them all up by Friday night, you know, and that's the first night they'll be lit. And then they'll stay on the common until Monday morning when DPW collects them to dispose of them. So we're gonna we can open up the voting sometime on Saturday, and it's really just a time thing, because we'll need to take pictures of each one and then post the pictures on our website, and then open up the voting on our website, which I already played around with, so you know that's easy to do. We can do that. I'm just not sure when the best time to take the pictures are. Like, maybe I guess we take them when we set up Friday, you know, so we're lining them all up, and then we'll have to number them, like maybe with a Sharpie. No, actually, I did want to talk about that, actually, if anyone has any ideas. So I'm thinking if people are strolling by, you know, and checking them out, and they're going to want to know what number it is, even though they're going to be 1 through 50 in order, but you know, you're not going to want to be in the middle and figure out which pumpkin number that is, right? So I don't think we want to.
Would the DPW be upset if we wrote on the actual like board, like the shelf that they made? Because I'm thinking of the front lip of that shelf. We could literally take like a heavy duty Sharpie and write the number underneath it. I don't know if they're trashing these completely or if they're saving them and reusing them next year, but that would be the easiest thing to do. And then we could take pictures of like groups of 5 of them to post.
Okay. Oh, I like that idea, the groups of 5, you know, because I was thinking I was gonna have to take a picture of each one.
Yeah, like if we do, like, yeah, I think big enough so you can see them in the picture, but I think we can group them. And if they're clearly labeled, even if we write on the top of the photo, like we go in and like put on numbers on top specifically for the photo, but I don't think you have to do each individual pumpkin.
Okay, that's Beth.
Sorry. So originally we thought they were going to be tables. So I had gotten some tablecloths. Like they had like spiders on them, and I thought they were kind of cute, but I don't think it's going to work with what we have. So I'm just going to return them, I think, if everyone agrees upon that, because I think that what they've done, it will look really cute on top of the fence without anything there. I don't know if everyone agrees with that.
It's rustic chic. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of writing on the fence, I could easily print out and I've got a laminator here, so we can just make little squares, 1, 2, 3, you know, etc. And then we can just probably tape them. Susie, can you bring up that picture of the fence again?
Yeah. I had a question too, if we could go back to the voting and what it's going to look like, because it might be easier if, as they're dropped off, we just take a picture. Whoever's on duty, I don't know.
Okay. We'll just have to number it. So yeah, so we could just probably write in the front with tape, like I don't know, masking tape or whatever, just stick the numbers right in front of the pumpkin.
And then I was thinking on the website, if we just take a picture of just the pumpkin and we just number them, like if we go through the sign up slots and as they drop off, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we just kind of like take the picture, upload the picture, and then people just see the pumpkin and they're like, oh, okay, you know, I didn't know if they're numbered, the pictures, it might be easier. Because I think if we just take a picture as it comes, we'll be okay.
Instead of taking it when it's on the fence set up with the number, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
How long does it take to upload each picture? I'm just thinking 50 individual. I think it's good to have individual pictures of them just in case someone gets confused or whatever. But for the voting, like this 50 individual pictures.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Is it like a grid? Like would people see it like smaller? Like I'm looking at the grid of us. would the squares just be smaller with a number under them, or like a list, or
I guess it's what it looks, what does it look like? Like the website that we're.
right?
Can we test it? Sorry. Can we test it out with something? Like, just take pictures of our kids on computers and upload or whatever, you know what I mean? But just to test it out to see the size.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll just add it on, and I'll just throw up some random pictures, and I'll set up like a 50 thing grid and see how that looks if they're too small. So I'll play with that this week, and we'll get that.
Yeah, because I envision us like we get a pumpkin and we like set it up and we take the picture and then we like put them in the pumpkin pile to set up after.
Yeah.
And if they're, I mean, but knowing that you have the laminator, if we could get a QR code to our website, that would be awesome. If people are like doing the stroll and they take a picture of it with their phone, if we could laminate it and put it right on the board, then they can just like go straight there.
Is it gonna?
I just learned about these newfangled QR codes.
Is it a QR code to just take you to the website, or is the QR code where you vote specifically for that numbered pumpkin? Because you could probably
that might be a little advanced for our first year.
Yeah.
No, we can bring you right to because all the QR code will do is it brings you to whatever web page you put in it. So we'll just bring it to the, CAC, whatever our website is, /pumpkin vote.
We could just have a couple of them lined up, and then if people are walking, they're like, oh, this is the winner. Go there.
Okay, so
I have one question. So would you stick, we're not going to write it directly on, you're going to laminate and put it on, like somehow stick it there?
I think we should do both, just so that they don't.
Yeah.
Get up.
Right. I'm just worried that like some, kid could just like rip it off, when they're walking by on their half day or something. I don't know. I mean, I know they're not going to be up for that long actually, but I'm just thinking, yeah.
So we'll take a Sharpie and we'll put a number.
Yeah.
Okay. On the front and then.
Okay. The other thing I was thinking for like the setup, because it will just be those pumpkins on the wood, because we're not going to be able to use the tablecloths. And we had talked about hay at one point. What if we had a little bit of hay like underneath all the pumpkins? Wouldn't that look more? I was just thinking it might look more aesthetically pleasing than just like pumpkins on wood. Just an idea.
Pumpkin right on hay right under the pumpkin or on the ground?
Yeah, like a little hay on, like, just like, almost like
on the platform.
On the surface, yeah, just like some hay there, just to make it more decorative. Look, I don't know.
I can pick up hay if you want to sprinkle on it.
You got that? Beth's getting hay.
I'll get hay.
Thanks, Beth.
Yeah, I love that.
You love picking up hay. Do you have a truck? Full tractor.
I'll make the numbers. I'll use the laminator. I'll have 1 through 50, and then we'll either tape it on right when the person comes and shoot the picture, and then put it out, or we'll just we'll figure it out. Yeah, I think once we're there, we'll get in a rhythm of how to do it. And then we'll decide. First of all, I'll make a fake page, and we'll see if we can have 50 pictures or if that's going to be way too many. So I'll play with that and get that out. Lisa.
I have a question about the tea lights.
Yeah.
When they pick up the pumpkins and they dispose of them, I just want to know if they're planning on like composting them or feeding them to animals or something. Do we have to remove the tea lights before they get rid of the pumpkins, or are they literally just throwing them in the trash with everything else?
Okay, I'll ask Scott about that. I'm just writing a note. Because we could always just go down Sunday and grab them before they. Okay. All right. So then we just need to talk about voting and then the prizes, because I know a lot of you have been working on getting the prizes. So I think we just discussed at the last meeting that we were going to have the top three. We're going to have 3 winners, whoever got the most votes. So you would go to vote, and then you we could either do it, you just vote for one, your favorite, or we could have a person vote for up to 3, and then we take, we tally everything up and figure out who had the most votes, 1, 2, and 3. Or so, what do you guys? Anyone want to pipe in on voting? Rebecca.
I like the idea of 3. I don't know.
You can
Then I like the idea of people voting for 3.
Okay.
Because I think it'll be hard to decide on just one especially for kids, like doing it with their family. There's 3 kids in the family. 2 kids, I'm thinking.
Yeah, pick your top 3.
Yeah.
Okay, Beth, and I saw you raise your thumb. Liz, you like 3? Thumb.
And this kind of goes where we won't have like grand prize, first prize, second prize. Like we wanted it to be like a community, contest. So
Yeah.
we can just say the top 3 are.
Yep.
Because when we start talking about our prizes, I think our prizes are pretty spectacular too.
We all got that. All right. Well, Susie, do you want to take the lead on the prizes?
So I'm pretty much housebound with the 3 children and homeschooling here. So I just want to thank everyone because this has been spectacular, and especially during COVID, and what a great team we are. So we have one of our prizes is Muya for a year. So thank you to Muya for that, always helping in the community. The second one that I have down is the new business Beyond Nutrition with a gift basket as well. So that's amazing. So we're really looking forward to them joining us in community events. And from one of our favorite farms, $50 to Tugas, which is wonderful. They're always so helpful and wonderful as well. But I didn't catch if there were any more. I know that people had some leads. So if anybody has anything else, I would like to hear so we can start the advertising too.
I'm working on, go ahead, Pam.
Oh, you go. That's fine. I'll watch you.
Yeah, I've gone into Arrow Coffee and managers never seem to be there. And I don't get out of the house too much, but so I haven't gotten back there since Friday. And then I'm still trying to get over to White Cottage and Mainstream Boutique. And I think those were all the ones I'm working on other than Tugas and Muya. But when I'm there, I'm happy to, because I'll be in that plaza. If there's anyone else we can think of, I'm happy to ask, like Rancho Corona or whatever. They're really nice. I could do that actually, because I like them. Okay, I'll do that.
Pam, and then
I'm still waiting on the actual gift card from Beyond Nutrition. But what if we just kept like the top, those 3 people, the Tugas, Muya, and Beyond Nutrition, and kind of have them the equal, like the 3 different prizes, and then because we're waiting on the other businesses, we can use that for the potential lighting display that we are. No, are we still going to do
I think
numerous? I don't know.
It's up to you guys, because we do have 3 great prizes, and we could switch it because we want to do something for the holidays, which I have something to follow up that we can kind of like intersync with the community on that. So we could do more like baskets, since people probably, I don't know if the trolley is going to do anything this year, they're going to do anything, but people like baskets, so we could hold off and do baskets then for that.
Yeah, I like these 3. I agree with Pam. Like, I think these are 3 like they're actually 3 very different prizes. They are kind of tiered, and one's like worth $150, the Muya, Beyond Nutrition 75, and Tugas is 50. If we did want to do first, second, and third, but if we don't have to do that. But they're all kind of nicely laid out in that way. And then we can leave these other asks. Yeah, I agree, for Christmas, because I mean, these are good prizes for carving a pumpkin.
And then no rush in the next week to like
Yeah.
get out, because I know it's like a super busy next week and a half with school and sports winding down and the holiday Halloween coming up. So
Beth, you had your hand raised earlier.
Yeah, so I didn't get a chance to go to Romaine's, but even for whatever we do for the holidays, I can try to get over there. It's like right down the street from me. So it's just getting out without the baby because I can't bring him in places because he can't wear a mask. So just trying to get there. But I will get out and stop in.
Okay, so I think if everyone agrees, just again, you want to give a thumbs up, we'll stick with these 3 prizes. They're kind of tiered, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll work on whatever else we can get and make some sort of Christmas baskets for the next event we'll talk about. All right, everyone's good? I think I saw most thumbs up. Okay. All right, so just to finalize action items that Pam can just put down in the minutes, I'm going to do a mock-up for the pictures on the website. I'll also make a QR sign that we'll be putting up, and I'll make 1 through 50 laminated signs and bring that with tape so we can put those with the pumpkins. We'll also make sure we have a Sharpie that day. Who's getting hay? Was it Beth? Okay, Beth was getting hay as decorative. Oh, I'll also check to see if the tea lights are going to be thrown out or if we have to get them, depending on how they're getting rid of the pumpkins. We've got our donations. Jess is going to send out an email to everybody who's already signed up just to remind them of the size, show them the fence, and make sure they still want to do it in case we need to open that up. Susie will thank the sponsors, and to help us continue to promote the event, we'll thank them for their generous donations. Lisa already has the tea light, so that's set. And we don't have to decide this today, but I guess we'll just want to make sure we have enough people there on Thursday and Friday. We obviously need more people on Friday, to help set up and get everything situated. So the more people can be there on the 30th, that would be great. And we can just take that offline and we'll figure out when people are available to help out. If you can't come down, kids or whatever, don't worry about it. There's enough of us.
can we state the hours again just for the meeting?
Yeah, Jessica, do you have the Sign Up Genius handy that has the drop-off times?
Yeah, sorry, I was just trying to write the email and then have you guys review it. We have signups from, oh, why am I so muted? Hold on one second. It starts on the 10/29, starting at 6 p.m. And goes every 10 minutes from 6 until 7 that day. And then on Friday, 10:30, it starts at 9, every 10 minutes until 11. And then it starts again at 4:30, every 10 minutes until 6. And so it's a total of 50 slots.
Okay, great.
And
Thank
it doesn't, you're welcome. It doesn't look like on the Sign Up Genius when I send a message through Sign Up Genius that I can attach a picture. So I'm just gonna ask them not to have the pumpkins be too large. Should I say not more than 12 inches in diameter?
I mean, I'd say like a foot and a half
Okay,
is probably okay. But
okay,
we're only sticking with 50 and we've got 84 feet, so.
okay.
Okay. All right, great. Does anyone have anything else to add?
Did we decide how we're gonna announce the winners? Like, will it be just on Facebook or Facebook website and like email those people? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, Jessica, if you could print out or email us, the PDF of this sign-up sheet. So what we can do is when that has a person's name and email. So when they come to drop off, we can check them in and also write what pumpkin number they are.
Okay.
So I just did the quick math. And if we have 84 feet, and then I've so 84 times 12 divided by 50, that's 20 inches for 50 pumpkins. So we can say like, so what we were going to say like 12 inches. I don't know what the depth of the actual shelf was, but like as far as actual space goes, if everyone did a 20-inch pumpkin, we would have just enough space for 50 people. So we could say a little bit bigger than 12 inches based on that. But again, I don't know what the depth of the actual, I know we don't want to go too deep on that either. So should we say like 18 inches? Did we pick an actual depth to not go past, size to go past? I heard 12 and maybe I was just in my head.
I think we were saying like maybe a foot to a foot and a half at the most. So yeah, 12 to 18. Oh, you're muted. Lisa, you're muted.
Myself, like 16 inches is still a ton of space as far as that goes. I just don't want to undersell us too much if it means that people are gonna, I don't know. I just did the math. I just want to throw it out there.
If you want, if you want to hold off on sending out the email until tomorrow morning or something, I can go up and measure exactly tomorrow morning, if that helps.
Oh, the depth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, there were two boards together. I don't know if those are 4 by whatevers. They're 4. I don't know. I can measure exactly tomorrow morning if you want to wait.
Okay,
That's fine. I can send it out tomorrow night. That's fine. I don't think it matters. I'll send it out tomorrow night then, so I'll wait.
To get exact numbers.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Cool.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, so I think we're good for now. Okay, so why don't, in our last bit of time here, why don't we talk about the tree lighting alternative idea that was brought up? Was that Pam? I don't remember who. Oh, it was Beth. Did
Yeah.
you? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. So I saw on Facebook, Sturbridge, their town is doing a contest for lighting up their houses. And I thought that might be kind of fun, tree lighting, light up the town. We could do something fun along those lines and have a competition, just like we're doing with the jack-o'-lantern, for people can go through town and see the lights and make sure your lights are up by whatever, week we want them to do the voting on. And then from there, we could have a little map somehow of those that want to participate, so folks in town know which houses to drive by and have the voting that way. I don't know if that sounds good to everyone or we're interested in it, but I thought it was a kind of a cute idea. Get everybody kind of excited about something in the community because we can't do the tree lighting and everyone loves that event.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Does anyone want to speak about that? Liz gave a heart. Okay. Trisha, what about you? Thumbs up or thumbs up? Okay. I guess one of my questions about, and I'm fine if Sturbridge is fine with us copying them. We can give them some credit. Are they limiting the number of houses? I'm just trying to envision, like, if they're having a map of the town,
I can call them tomorrow and find out how, like, if they're doing a limit, or because, I think we should do it probably towards the beginning of December, like we do the tree lighting, depending upon all the work that it will take to put it together, because then we'll have, I think, more time for people to have their lights up, but also that the voting can happen and people can kind of enjoy, like, this house won, and then people can kind of go by the houses that got the most votes, which will kind of probably make people feel really good about all the work they put in.
That's a great idea. Rebecca.
I just want to say, as a mom who goes on light rides almost every night in December with her boys before bed. For like my husband, well, used to travel, but it's like this is such a perfect idea because it's like everyone wants to know the best houses. This way we could provide that. I think it could be like even an event we continue on in the, like, I think we could probably do this and the tree lighting in future years. It could be that like exciting because what kids don't like seeing lights. It's so exciting. It gets dark early. So I love it. And I love the idea of a map possibly too. Or just like a list of the streets, but a map would be really cool because the kids could like hold that in the car, and it would just be, it's a very family friendly, could be interactive too. So I love it.
Okay, great. Susie.
So I liked our idea so much. I had brought it up at our PTO for Proctor, and we're doing a door decorating contest or not contest, but just submitting for Halloween so that the kids can feel festive and show the doors of Proctor if they decorate their doors at home. So we were thinking that maybe we could do this for the different holidays, and then we could actually jump on board with the community affairs committee, like let's decorate Northborough, something, just because people are looking for something to do. I think especially as Beck said, it gets dark and everything, but just to let you guys know that we're going to try, we have a multi-PTO meeting with the rest of the Northborough PTOs next week. So we're going to let them know too, so that we can try to spread it out and give our contest a little bit more steam as well, and free advertising.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, especially if you're reaching out to the elementary schools, all of them. Not everyone knows about our committee. And so it's a great way to help advertise what we do too. And I think that's a great idea. The doors, that's fun. That sounds really fun. Okay, good. So I guess, Beth, are you raising your hand?
Yeah, so I just wanted to, because I'll call Sturbridge tomorrow. I was just wondering, I'm going to ask about the limit, if they have a limit of how many can participate. I don't know that we want to, but doing the map, it might be difficult to put every house on the map if so many people participate. But I don't think this year we might not have that problem, but if we continue it, we might have to figure it out a little bit more. But I'll ask them more about the map and how they are creating that, if they're using resources within their town or how they're getting the map to do that. But are there any other questions that you can all think of that I can put on the list of things that you might think that might come up? I'm not sure what to ask.
Okay, I see Rebecca and then Pam.
I was just thinking about the map. When I first moved to Northborough back in, I don't know, 2014, there used to be a town-wide yard sale day. I don't know if anyone remembers that. It was the first year I moved here, I think 2014 was the summer. Anyway, it was a day like people, it was like just everyone could do a yard sale, whoever wanted to, and their address would be put on a map. So like a drawn sort of, someone did a like black and white map and passed them out, and people would go. I don't think it was our committee who did it. It must have been a different committee, but it was really cool. I was sad to see it go away because it was a really cool event. And but I was just thinking like that map, like a map like that, it was just very simple, but I know we might have a lot. So I'm just saying, like, I know that's been done. I wasn't sure if it was our committee. It had to have been a different committee, and I don't know what committee it was, but and then there was something else I was going to, I know we discussed this last time, and the fire chief was on last time and said, the Toys for Tots piece, they're still figuring that out, but we were going to continue with our service piece of, as we do for all of our events. So I just want to put it out there. Let's not forget, like for the minutes, like Toys for Tots, we want to work that in somehow.
Yeah, yeah.
The lighting.
I had made a note about that. The Toys for Tots, he said mid to end of October. So I can call Toys for Tots and see, or check online to see if they're up and running. I don't know if I can do that right now. but he had said that that's when they were expecting them to have some sort of announcement about what they were going to do.
Is the fire station a drop off? Is that why he mentioned that last month?
Yep.
Yes. And we were gonna like at the tree lighting last year when we dropped off all the toys we talked about, like they were gonna bring it to the tree lighting this year and we were gonna like fill a truck, but obviously we can't do that this year. But it'd be nice to, if they're a drop site, it would be nice to involve the
I
fire
wonder if we
station.
could have a time where we have a fire truck there. I mean, if there was a way that we could limit the amount of people dropping off, I don't know. Or no. Have a fire truck and a drop off time? No.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
need a few, right? Maybe a few times.
Or if, yeah, I guess.
Could we link it to the town light up saying, just like we're doing with the food bank, maybe we could do something along the lines of, if you're participating, please remember to donate to Toys for Tots and provide drop-off locations. So they don't
Right.
have to do it, but by going on and saying that they want to compete, that maybe
Right.
they'll donate a toy as well.
I like that.
Mhm.
I get the thumbs up.
if we can't do a map, we could just make like a really pretty, design document and just list them with check boxes, and then we could try to group the streets by location. And then that way, when the kids are in the car, they'll have something to check off and, we could, because a map might be really hard to fit everything. And then
We
that way,
could definitely do an interactive map. Like you can drop pins on like a Google map. And then that way it can get updated all the time. Something like that is definitely feasible. And that's easy to update.
you're saying we can set a Google map on our website, and then every time we get new participants, we can
Drop a pin. Let me see if I can make it public. I can play around with it, but I've definitely done interactive maps for individual and company use.
Yeah.
I don't know if we put it on, but I can play around with Google Maps and see what I can do with that. And then anytime we get an address, we just drop a pin. I can see what I can do with that. I can play around with that.
That would be easier for driving around, I feel like, because we'd be able to see it much easier than where is this dead end street? I can't find it and it's dark out.
I like the idea of the list too. I mean, because then like you said, you can easily check it off, but I can play around with Google Maps and see if I can make something. And then that way it's easy to, if somebody gives us an address last minute, you can just drop it in. It's just another pin.
Yeah,
The Toys for Tots.
like a community affairs committee app, and then people could
Ooh,
use
fancy. High tech committee.
Love it. I love it. I love it.
Not that,
I'm going to interject to Jessica quick because we were talking about Toys for Tots.
Yeah.
Can we put a line in the email about reminding people to donate to the food pantry as well? And I will mention that in all of my advertisements as well.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
wrote that in,
Just
I
to
wrote that
bring
in
it
my
there.
notes
Okay.
to put in.
And just to remind everybody that's watching us that they can donate to the food pantry to keep those donations coming in.
Do we have any idea how many donations it raised? Was any of that linked, or was it just?
Goes directly to them. Yeah.
we could just, when at drop off, we could set up one of the tins we have, and people could put in cash if they want to into the tin, and then we just don't touch the cash for
Yeah.
For 3 days.
Yeah. I feel like that's always successful.
Yeah.
So we might as well,
we could at least do that. It's just, I don't think we want to deal with taking food itself and dealing with all of that. But if one person takes the money's in the bin, I'll take it home, write a check for the food pantry, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maybe if we make the QR code sheets, maybe we can put it on there too.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Okay. We'll be using Canva a lot, Susie, doing our nice documents. Okay. All right, cool.
I love Canva. I love it.
Beth.
So the Toys for Tots, it is going on. The last day that people can register for a drop-off location is November 20th. So we wouldn't have the full list of this area. But I mean, we can also do it as, whatever Northborough locations there are. We don't have to do the full like Worcester County area. But they are going to have a minimum of 72 hours that the toy has to be dropped off before they distribute it to children. But other than that, it's just, there's a bunch of caveats for COVID.
So we couldn't have even done it at the tree lighting, you're saying, because it would have been they're saying the toys have to be dropped off by that November date?
No, so the 20th is the date that a location can pick up. So if like an organization wants to be a drop off, they have until November 20th to register.
Oh.
And then, so we wouldn't know everywhere in Northborough until November 20th of where the drop off locations are.
Okay.
But they keep the toys for 72 hours before they distribute them. So just like when we do the event, if people are going to drop them off like right before Christmas, they're not going to be, whenever time they end up like distributing to kids, if it's not the 72-hour window, the kids aren't going to get them. Does that make sense?
Rebecca, did you have your hand?
I just had a thought. What if we become a drop off at town hall? Could we do that?
Well, do we need to be if the fire station's a drop off?
Just as another, I don't know. I was just thinking as another, I guess they're kind of close, so it wouldn't make sense, but.
I think town hall was a drop off last year. I think it was upstairs. At least if it wasn't last year, 2 years ago, I dropped off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, I think we have enough on our plate anyways, though. So with doing, and think about it, we're doing 2 brand new events in a very short time. So I guess what we'll just need to do is hear from Beth on what you find out from Sturbridge. I mean, they have a website, right? That we could.
Sorry. Yeah, they do. So there was a bunch of information there, but I think I need more details from the people that are running it. So I'll ask them about how they're doing the map. I love, Lisa, the idea of the Google map, because then people can just plug in where they want to go. That's awesome. But I can ask them if they have any other ideas or what they're doing. And then I'll figure out if they're doing a limit of any sort and if they have information on what they've done for prizes. But I think we have so many great local businesses that we'll be able to get great prizes and baskets for them.
Okay, great. Does anyone have anything else they want to bring up about either the jack-o'-lantern or our new event, the what are we calling it? You know, we need a name.
I like light up the town, but that's just me.
Town. All right. Anyone else have any suggestions? Does everyone like light up the town?
I like it.
Pretty simple.
Something like you can't be with us to light up the tree. I don't know, light up the town. No. Pull that in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like the community type
Yeah.
feel it gives us.
Light up the
Light up the town, yeah.
Together.
Oh, something.
We're all in this together.
I forgot to mention, I have everyone's mask,
Oh,
Halloween mask. So I won't be able to be on that Thursday shift. So maybe I will deliver them to each of you. So you all have your masks for our drop off. So that, I want you all to look very festive. And then I also forgot to mention, I have a reporter from the Community Advocate that will be covering this event. So just to let you know.
okay. Great. Publicity is good. Okay, Susie, where are you on publicity? And Liz, is there anything we need to get out? I mean, should we just put some posts up about reminding about the event?
I'm going to put up, I was going to piggyback on when Jessica sends out the email. I'll also post the thank you kind of at that time, just saying if you haven't received your email and you're a participant, here's the information. If you plan on voting, and just give the general idea and then close up with the food pantry. And then I thought Sunday night I can start the advertising, because hopefully we'll have everything, like all of our ducks in a row with or know what's going on with each of the prizes, and just to give it some momentum and give our page some, get in that algorithm or whatever, so people will start seeing it more.
You could probably do separate posts. You could do a post.
Yeah.
The food pantry donation, whether you're participating or not, this
Yep.
time to help out the food pantry with, the holidays coming. Right. And then everything else you mentioned. Yeah. The more
And then because I figure by the time like you figure out what format will work best for the website for voting, then we'll be able to figure out the window of when they'll go live. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'll keep our page busy basically between now and Halloween.
Okay, great. And Liz, you usually just share the post that Susie does on Insta?
Yeah, on Instagram and Twitter.
And Twitter. Okay.
Mhm.
We have a Twitter.
Thanks, Liz.
What's our Twitter handle?
It's the same as Instagram.
Okay.
CAC Northborough, I believe.
All right, I'll take a look. I didn't realize. I'm not a huge Twitter.
I'm gonna like you.
I don't
Didn't know either.
file, but okay. All right, cool. Jessica, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Susie, I'll let you know after Pam sends the dimensions when that goes out. There's 2 people that won't get the email because I had to sign them up because of some problems with the sign up sheet. So I get the email that they're signed up. So that will be helpful.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right, well, it's 8:05. I think we're gonna call it. And I'm laughing because I feel like, do we have one other thing we have to do at the end, like a roll call or vote? John, is John still? I think John's still there listening.
I think we have to make a motion to close the meeting, so I'll make the motion to close the meeting. And then
Yeah,
it's
that's right.
second, and then we do the roll call.
All right.
Right, John?
Yep, that's right.
I can hear him, but I can't see him.
Oh, can you see him?
There he is.
There I
There
am.
he is.
Yeah, you just somebody needs to make a motion and somebody needs to second it.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
I'll second that.
Hi, Susie. All in favor? Aye. All right. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. See you guys.
you.
See you Thursday.
That was
Bye.
perfect.
Thank you.
Very good.
Nice job, Lisa.
Very nice job, everyone. Very good.
Where are we going? Oh, we're all leaving?